You're lying. Promise!
Yes, I promise. Well, hello, welcome back, and we're so happy you're here.
Forgetting Mary.
Okay, so we have a lot of things coming up.
I have a little cowlick.
And first of all, we want to definitely tell you that if you would like a notification when our show is live, you just, on our website, you just hit notifications. And it will let you know. So please like, share, comment, and subscribe. We appreciate
Wow, that's
it.
very good.
Yes. Go team. All right.
Why are we yelling?
I don't know.
Okay.
We're excited. I know I'm very excited to be here.
Well, hi, Nana, Sammy, Laura.
Everybody's here.
Sammy, Laura, Old School Raider.
Aloha. Okay. Now.
I'm doing in part 2. We're going to have 2 parts to this show today.
Yes. So.
Hi, Eric. Azul. 1.
James.
Oh, Coke's on you.
I owe you so many Cokes. A whole freezer full. Okay. 2 weeks from now is the deadline to get your spooky stories or your scary photos in. Because we are going to have a live Halloween party. And we are going to be sharing your stories and your pictures. And we're going to have a contest. And there'll be 2 winners. And you will have a choice, as you can see here on our fabulous
Sheila, Roxanne
picture here. And so please submit your stories and your pictures and win a question or an art print. We're going to have 2 winners. So
we're all
that's
winners.
Exciting. Yes. We also have the Evening with Angus coming up on New Year's Eve. And it's called Me in 2023, which is always interesting. You never know what the other side's going to tell you. Angus always has an amazing message for you. So that's one of my favorite events that we do.
Yes.
It's our 3rd annual
What?
Evening with Angus on New Year's Eve.
Is it only 3?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I know.
thought
It seems much more, doesn't it? Okay, what else? Is that it? Yeah. So all of our events and our services and art and everything we talk about, you can find in the links below the video.
Yeah.
You know, one last thing we should really tell
Yes.
people too is super chat. You know, Vera is here. If you have, if you would like a tarot answer to your question or want to know about a past life birthmark, please let us know with our super chat. That's how we can, keep SC going and get the amazing messages about your past lives to you. So, very exciting. With all that being said, are you ready to talk about Harry and Meghan? Aloha, Roxanne.
Okay. So Harry and Meghan, we've been watching their, what do you call it? Their interview with Oprah. We've been kind of watching that and seeing body language and all that good stuff. I know I said before that Harry and William and Kate will eventually make up.
Yay.
Yay.
I
Yeah.
am so happy because look how close they used to be.
You could see in all the pictures before, the 3 of them, they were always laughing. They were always smiling. And now it's not the case. I know that they're married now. Well, he was married anyway, William. And they have children and things kind of change. But not who you were.
Right.
Really, that stays with you. So it just seems, to me, it feels very sad that, he's not, Harry isn't laughing like he used to.
Right.
I don't mean like silly stuff, but, just more happy. His eyes looked happier kind of thing.
Yeah, it looked like he was having so much fun. Like, people were saying that they were like the 3 musketeers, right?
Yeah, because they were always
William and Kate.
And he's the one. Harry supposedly was the one that really got William to go back with Kate.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah. So and what I want to really stipulate right now is we are Switzerland.
Right.
I don't have anything against Meghan. I don't have anything against Harry, William, or Kate.
Right.
It's just what I'm picking up. And the dynamics between Harry and Meghan, I don't feel is going to last. Doesn't mean they're bad people. It doesn't mean anything like that. It's just the dynamic together is all a big, huge learning lesson for both of them, actually. Well, for all four of them, and maybe the world even. Because of all the different things that people are picking up on,
Right.
yeah. So, yeah, I think eventually he will go back to the family.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's been fascinating because, as Vera just said, we've been watching the behavioral panel, and
That's where we got Switzerland.
yes,
You have
because
to be honest.
yep, exactly, because
Ooh, that just meant nothing.
just like you were just saying, we are not attacking anybody.
No,
We're not at anybody's
personally.
side.
We
Exactly.
don't- yeah.
It's just
my impressions.
yes, exactly. And it was fascinating to hear what they had to say about the interview, body language wise, that Harry and Meghan had done with Oprah. And some of the things that stood out to me was when Oprah was asking if she really made Kate cry. And it was interesting because they had seen a little bit of duper's delight when a person smiles even though they're saying
And
no.
she didn't really answer the question.
Oh, she didn't. So she didn't say
She
no.
bypassed it
Right.
and said everyone was welcoming instead of
Right, because that's true. She was asking, because she had said that her and Kate were together at Wimbledon and they looked very close. And,
Oprah said that.
Right, and that's when Meghan was saying that, and also that her experience was that nothing is like how it seems. So there was a lot of, it was really fascinating. There was a lot that the gentleman on that panel had to share about that whole
Yes.
interview that we were watching. Yeah, it was interesting too, because one of the things,
I don't think the whole world is against them, Roxanne, because there's a lot of people that are really pro Harry and Meghan.
oh, definitely.
I've seen it, yeah. So I kind of think it's kind of mixed. Maybe a lot of people in England aren't,
Right.
but worldwide, I don't know. I'm not so sure about that.
Yeah, I wonder if Nana has do you have a feeling, Nana? I think Nana's here, right? If
She was the
people
first
there-
one.
Okay, if people there, if you're aware of a general feeling there about Harry and Meghan.
But really, we want you to go and watch on the behavioral panel and see
what
how you feel
think.
about
exactly.
it. Yeah.
It was interesting because they had 3 videos that they did on
3 or 4.
on Harry, and in one of them he was talking about moving to the States, and that the States had welcomed him with open arms, and that it's home. And these gentlemen were saying, but he was slapping his legs and his hands ran down his legs.
Soothing.
And it was, soothing, and his lips were showing disappointment. So it was like they were feeling...
really weren't welcomed.
Right.
is what
They were feeling like
yeah.
it was like he was feeling like it was a mistake almost. But that's how we learn. And that's how all of us are learning is through this example. I mean, it's pretty fascinating, isn't it? Because even Harry said that he was even saying that his mother was chased to her death, and he felt that they're not going to stop until, he felt until she's dead. He's talking about Meghan now. But it's interesting because all of us...
I'm not smiling at the death. I'm
No,
smiling
of
at your
course.
hands.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Because your nail polish looks good.
Oh!
Oh,
I wasn't
gotta
thinking
keep
about that.
smiling. Damn it.
Okay. Hey, we all have things, right?
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, I just wanted to point that out because I thought it was really interesting because all of us can learn from, I mean, obviously,
Of course.
Harry was talking about he has childhood trauma about his father making him walk behind his mother's casket. And so it's interesting because to a lot of us, it's like we're hearing him working through his mother's death, what happened with his mom, and he couldn't, save her. So it's like, it's interesting, isn't it, that he has this situation, but doesn't mean necessarily it's the same.
Well, yeah, but he feels it is.
Right. And so that's interesting, though. It's an amazing example of what we chart and working through it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to stay together.
Because William went through the same thing. So it's like what Chase was saying, trauma is relative. Every person, experiences trauma differently.
Isn't that the truth? He had a really interesting example that, we'd love to share. He was talking about how
This was Chase.
Yeah, it was Chase's example. And he was saying that he had one friend that had his leg blown off from an explosive because he was in the military. And then he had another friend who, and his friend that lost his leg was fine. But he has another friend who years ago went to a restaurant and got yelled at and is still traumatized by it. So,
Yeah. And it's still trauma.
to his other friend, exactly. So, very good point.
Harry is trying to go through healing. There's a lot of, he's still holding on to a lot of anger, you can tell.
Right.
That sometimes I feel his wife, because that's how they call each other, husband and wife, kind of feeds him. And then he feeds her. So it's kind of like a team thing, but it's not always positive.
Yeah. And what Vera means is like they never say, Harry thinks or Megan's doing this. That's always my husband and my wife.
Yeah, they don't call each other, Harry and Meghan.
Right.
Or Meg, what they sometimes people call her.
And yeah, it was just very interesting because some of the things that they were also pointing out was like, he was repeating something and holding her hand, like putting his hand on, slapping her hand so that he could talk because she was talking over him before. So it's just interesting.
Yes, Roxanne.
But again, as you said, if you watch it yourself, then you can, get this insight into what the body language tells us.
And they're also saying that he has the mannerisms of a 12-year-old, that he hasn't really fully emotionally developed.
Yeah, that was interesting.
I thought that was interesting
that's
too.
What Greg was bringing up. Yeah, that's right. It was interesting, so interesting. But we wanted to share a couple examples because when we were talking about this, talk about body language. It's not even anything that we mean to do. It just comes out.
I know, Chrissy.
And we were talking about this, and Vera was saying, we really should bring this up during the show. Okay, so a lot of the things that they say, like that women do, I know I do, but one thing I wanted to share was some body language during a trance.
Let me answer Roxanne first.
Okay.
We're not saying there's anything wrong with it. That's what the behavioral panel brought to our attention. That it's not, usually people say, I love Harry, I love Meghan. They don't say I love my husband. Usually. But it's cultural too. So you have to go with that as well.
Yeah. And that's one of the first things that they started, that the behavioral panel started the video with, is that it's cultural.
And that's like, it's nothing bad or good. It's just their observation, and it's our observation as well.
Yeah, there's cultures within cultures.
Right,
And there's even microcultures, like within just a small group of people and so forth. Fascinating. Okay. But it was just really interesting, and I wanted to share with you some body language from trance that...
From trance?
It was during a trance.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay,
right.
Now I know what you're going to talk about.
Yeah. Okay, so during a trance one time, it's something that was happening at the time, was affecting me. I was being affected, and I was embarrassed because Angus was telling me, that's Vera's master teacher on the other side, and he came through, and he was telling me about something. He wasn't making me feel bad about it or shaming me. It was just that he was just saying something, but I remember I went like that. In fact, I kind of like chuckled, like a embarrassed chuckle or something, but I went like that, and I was going like that, and that meant like...
Stop.
And I even remember going, why did I do that? Because obviously... we don't really have to know a lot about body language to know that this is like a shield or a,
protection,
like a protection. And I'm like, why did I do that? He's here to help me.
But it's also saying, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, but it's like, it was like obvious because I was embarrassed and that he knew that was affecting me, right? Well, that's ridiculous. He's on the other side. Of course he's going to know, but whatever, right? Yeah. That's how we react. And then, should I share the other one with?
Yeah.
Okay, here's another one. And then, when everything was happening with our beloved Vera's health, we were talking about if, like in the future, if we needed to have someone else with, basic, I don't even like to say it because I'm not for it, but if we were talking about if we needed somebody else to help us as far as, to be a psychic if you weren't here, to carry SE forward. And that's not something that I even ever wanted, but that was on her. Yeah. But anyway, it was a question. And so I asked it for us, and it was so interesting because Angus went, he did the little corner of his mouth like that, which means contempt. I mean, it wasn't like he was angry. It's just amazing body language because, Angus has been in life. He's had 76 lives. So he's been in life a lot.
Trombones
right. He's been in life a
America.
lot. And so, we all learn that body language. But I just thought that was amazing examples of body language. And what was so funny about that too? I told him 3 times during that session. I'm like,
yeah.
I go, but I don't want another psychic. And he goes, I know. Finally, he's like, I know.
I get
it. Because I'm like, I don't want that. But it was just interesting.
Because Nano did respond.
Great.
And she said Harry is not well liked and Meghan is hated.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in England.
Wow, see?
Majority. We can't say all.
Right, because that's what we see. We see in videos here in the States, Harry and Meghan getting booed when
they were leaving the cathedral.
And so it's like...
And one time they were actually... Go ahead.
No, I was done.
They were walking through the line, and that's when William invited them to come with them instead of going separate. So,
what happened?
I did separate. That means I want somebody to agree with me.
Well, yeah. I agree.
Okay. So they were in line, and this one lady was trying to shake her hand, and did. And then Meghan went to the next lady, and the next lady just looked at her and wouldn't shake her hand. So Meghan went to the next person, and then you could see the lady laughing.
Oh.
And she could still hear her.
Oh, wow.
So that was interesting too. It's like, wow, yeah, well.
Yeah, wow.
It happens.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Yay.
Thank you, Azul 11.
Keys, piano. I hope that doesn't mean sing.
They hope it doesn't mean sing.
Yeah, really.
I'm just kidding.
I know. It was I felt really sad whenever they were getting booed.
I know.
Because you feel
come on,
you're in your home.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sad. Wow.
It's like he chose a different life.
Right.
So.
Right. Wow. Yeah. It's the lessons that we chart aren't easy.
Yes.
Are they? Okay, Vera. So that was my big, amazing body language story I wanted to share with you guys. I just thought it was interesting because being on the other side, Angus doesn't need to see our body language to know what we're thinking.
Exactly. but one little thing, I have a pet peeve with them.
Yes, tell us.
They're supposed to be Switzerland, right?
Oh, the behavior panel.
Right. They have no...
I agree with your pet peeve. I have a little pet peeve. Yeah.
They pick on psychics.
That's
in
not,
mass. They don't pick out
right.
certain ones. They pick out all psychics are frauds.
See, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, look.
So I'm going to have a little talk with you guys.
Yeah. We understand that they are...
my eye ticked on that one.
We understand that they might be coming more from an analytical...
Of course.
aspect.
Because science.
More of the left brain or the right brain.
The science part.
Right. But then don't discount the intuitive, the emotional side. There should be a balance there. I mean, that's so much of what they do is based on intuition also and what they feel.
Correct.
Because, like you pointed out, Chase uses hypnosis, right? He's a hypnotist.
But doesn't believe in past lives.
But doesn't believe in past lives.
Which is fine.
And then Mark doesn't believe in psychics.
Oh.
Right? But there was another thing that he did. But he doesn't believe in psychics. You were talking about Mark this morning. Mark.
Oh, Mark. He's the one that said he wrote a book about cold readings.
Right.
So that's what he got.
I see.
And they were all laughing.
But hopefully, we're not.
Sharon.
Hopefully, we don't land on their bad side.
Right.
I would hate for them to come over. Could you imagine all the body language stuff they could Who knows what, right? Okay, what are we reading here?
Oh, Azul 1 or 11. Famous pianist added him or her to IG. I wonder why. And also, I fell in love with a classical conductor years ago. He married someone else. I feel like a connection to classical music musicians. Not sure why. Because you were married to a famous musician in a past life.
Wow.
I mean, famous.
You, I don't want to interrupt. Was there something else you were going to say?
No,
Vera?
and that's why the connection with classical music and that kind of thing in this life is cell memory.
That's awesome. It's really cool too to maybe a new 11 if or a new 1. I'm not sure, but
Azul, wasn't it? Azul.
but maybe if there's a certain time period or culture that you really resonate to, you could research that a little bit
Yeah.
and see what that pull is.
Yeah, I realized like Harry was a rebel and had his own way, but him and William were still close,
Right.
and that's what's changed.
Okay, Vera.
And it's interesting how one person can change the dynamic,
I know.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Either positively or negatively.
Right. We'll go with the positive.
I did that right.
Positive. Yeah.
Left to right.
Yeah. Okay. So, Vera, now we want to talk about kinetic energy versus, like, say, spirits or ghosts in the home. We'll say ghosts.
Yeah, because a lot of times people think that just because you feel something touch you or you hear somebody calling you, because I've heard my son calling me. I even went to my front door thinking he was at the front door, and he wasn't there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's your intuition, it's your kinetic energy that's here. You're picking up whoever was calling somebody, or like my son, he was either thinking about you or thinking about a situation about you, and you heard it. So that's all it is. It's not like a ghost is there calling your name.
Right.
I'm speaking generally. There's obviously some ghosts that do that. But for some people, especially if you have children in the home, especially teenagers, because of all their kinetic energy, because they're all going all over the place.
No doubt.
Yeah, but it's not always a ghost or a spirit that's bothering you. It's your own kinetic energy.
Exactly.
It took me a long time to realize that I had that.
Well, it's fascinating.
Yeah.
Because if we were sitting there and one of our bracelets flew off of your table and landed across the floor, you would probably think, oh my gosh, okay, who did that? What did that? But we don't honestly think that it's us. You know what I mean? We don't think it's us because, because we didn't intend to make that happen. Usually you have to put thought. I mean, we would imagine, right? I would imagine we'd have to put thought into moving something, but that happened to you.
Yeah. I mean, you've been there, and it seems like there's always somebody there to see it.
Exactly.
With other people too, not just me. But, when things fly off the counter and they're heavy.
Yes, exactly.
And there's nobody near it.
Right.
That we know of.
And you thought, or I thought, it was the other side, but really it was you.
Kinetic energy.
Right.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So, now, Vera, have you had...
Did we answer his question or her question? Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. And he is British. There we go.
Coming out, wondering...
Past life.
1 or 3.
Okay, now, this is Finding Worthy Internet TV Station. The first 3 months, you're going to feel like nothing's happening, but eventually it will start building up. So don't discount what's happening at the beginning, because sometimes it just has to gain momentum. Oh, awesome. Okay, cool.
Well, thank you, Finding the Worthy Internet TV Station.
Yeah.
I have to practice
really.
that one. Well, all right. That's exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome, Roxanne. I love when you get visits,
Oh.
And it's like this morning, too. Whenever I was walking
that's
around the corner,
nice.
I felt like I ran into somebody.
Really?
I'm always like, and I'm like, damn it. Get out of the way.
Somebody on
Yes,
the other
I know,
side.
Sabrina. I knew it was you. And that's still what's going to happen. Oh, thanks, Roxanne. Sabrina.
Aw, that's nice.
Yeah. Very cool. Well, we'll put it on our website too. How's that?
Yeah, absolutely. Very cool. Okay, now, is there any other examples that you can think of how we would know when it's kinetic energy versus a ghost?
Right.
It's hard to know.
Yeah.
But,
But you can, you can ask, who are you, or what, and the first thing
Right.
that comes to you, kind of thing.
but isn't it interesting because some of the times when that happened to you, you were having a lot of emotion about something, right?
Mm-hmm.
What about when you moved the can? When you moved that soda can?
Well, we were talking about Christianity versus
I see.
spirituality, and my neighbor, was trying to get me to go to her church, and that's when I asked her, what does your church believe in with gay people, or any race kind of thing, and she's going, oh well, they're not very into it. And I go, well then count me out, I'm not doing it. But then I told her to look up the Council of Nicaea, and read about that. It doesn't have to come from me. I go, you read it and see what happens. And she's like, after she read that, she stopped going to church.
Wow.
Because she didn't feel that was right to begin with, but she kind of figured, well, it's in the Bible.
Right.
But
right.
yeah.
Okay, so that's how one of the ways that we can know is if something like that happens, were we like really focused our intent or our emotion on something?
Right.
Like you weren't focusing on the can.
No, but when
your
it did it,
conversation.
she like flipped out whenever it moved. And it didn't move just once. It was going like, it moved like this, and then it went more.
It's very cool.
And then it was so cute. She was just like this. She was like going,
Or her eyes.
and then she kept going like this to her husband.
That's funny. All right. Okay. So we have one more question that we were going to answer. And I am going to go find it right now.
And to give you blessings too, Roxanne.
Well,
That everything's okay,
is this it?
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for, and I didn't keep it.
Oh, the carrion?
Yes. Let me go find it. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. Let's see here. Gotta go find it. There was a question that we had that came in about carrying angels, and I believe it's here. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember now.
All right.
This one's for James, right?
Yes, I'm going to go ahead and read it. So, James' question. Okay, near my house, and I mean very near, my house is a cottonwood tree with a huge trunk and 5 large stems leading up to high branches like 5 trees in one. In that tree...
Take a picture so we can see it.
Yeah, it sounds kind of cool.
Doesn't it?
Yeah. In that tree, there was a hawk and his young family some months ago. Now we have some turkey vultures common to Colorado Springs, nestling in the tree. Are the turkey vultures something to do with carrying angels by any chance? These birds only eat dead things for the most part, but sometimes they will eat small creatures, not often though. They extend their huge wings and sun themselves. In the 9 years we've lived here, we have only seen them in the last month.
Cool.
Okay, so that is a great question, James. And Tack, if you would pull up the picture of the carrying angel. So this is my interpretation of a carrying angel. You'll see all the orange behind him because that is the color of the carrying angel wings. And I depicted him this way because Vera and Angus had described to me about how when a lost light entity passes, they hold tight, they grab tight onto that entity and take them to the left door. So they are very, very strong. That's kind of why I did this visual. I wanted to show that strength. But they are such a beautiful, loving angel to protect us from lost light entities. For example, when my father died, you saw him in a long line with all these other entities all being held by carrying angels waiting to go through
The left door.
and actually come right back into life. So that's what this carrying angel does. And yes, every angel has a totem animal. Every phylum has a different totem animal. But actually, the carrying angel's totem is a crow or a raven. And that is because their function is fate, our fate. And it's not a bad thing when you have a good fate,
Yeah.
right? But I mean, really, it's not a bad thing. I think these crows get a bad rap.
Yes, they
because
do.
they've been in horror movies and everything like that. But they're I love crows and ravens. Actually, I love that bird.
Be safe, Eric.
And so that is the totem animal for the carrying angel, and it's, we create our fate in an amazing and beautiful way, our destiny. But yes, their function is fate, and their totem animal is a crow. But thank you for the question.
And so I can add to that, the turkey vulture means, because you saw them, that your spirituality is rising, and along with that, your psychic ability. And that helps you to learn that gracefully how they are in the air, and graceful, that's how you're stepping up the ladder to your psychic ability. Gracefully.
Oh, that's
yeah,
nice.
It's not like kabam, like somebody sitting in a chair and a big blast of air comes at you. It's graceful.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice. Thank you, Laura.
Yeah,
And thank you for all these great questions. This is awesome.
it is.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's
Okay.
kind of what we have for you
All
today.
right, so yes, today is a special day because we're going to go ahead and end this video, but we're coming right back for part 2. What time do we have, Vera? It's 1:33, so about 1:45.
We'll
That
be
sound
back.
good? We'll be back, so we hope that
For
you
part
come
2.
back and join us for part 2.
There you go.
And we love you all. And,
We love you all.
And Vera?
Journey with us.